lose one. You lose. You rapist pervert.
Mr. Jeffs, Mr. Jeffs, any reaction? Any comment?
We're very pleased with the jury's verdict. I think the jury's verdict sends a clear message across the state of Texas and across the United States that if someone comes to this state and sexually assaults a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old, you're going to be found guilty and you're going to be put behind bars. There's no excuse for anyone to come here and harm a child, and we believe in tough and swift justice in the state of Texas. On the information we have, we think that all the wrongdoers have been identified and all the children victims have been identified. If we ever learn of any more evidence or information about any other children who either have been or could be harmed, we want to take swift action to protect them. If I understand your question, I think that's the task force that was under consideration by federal authorities, and I don't know if it ever got off the ground or not. But we would support that effort to root out any other kinds of problems either behind Y&Z Ranch or any other similarly related issues. I would anticipate it lasting a couple of days. There will be a tremendous amount of evidence that will be offered up today and tomorrow, and it could go on one more day, showing a lot more detail to the jury about activities that Warren Jeffs has engaged in. The kind of information that typically is not allowed in a guilt or innocence phase of a trial. And I think that the jurors, as well as Texans and Americans, are going to learn a whole lot more about the background of Warren Jeffs. Well, what was on trial here in San Angelo wasn't anyone's faith, wasn't a church, wasn't a compound. There was only one thing on trial here in San Angelo, and that was Warren Jeffs and his actions to sexually assault 2 young girls. Our responsibility is to investigate and prosecute crimes like that and not engage in any kind of religious persecution.
You know, anytime there's a loss, we're always disappointed. The judge's intent is to go right along with the next phase of the trial, so we really can't say too much at this time due to the fact we're still currently in trial. But to answer your question, yeah, we're always disappointed whenever we're on the losing end of things, and we just got to keep at it until this thing's over. We've not been notified of any change in circumstances that they currently exist. Mr. Toto and I are still been ordered to remain at Mr. Jeffs' side, which, as always, we're more than happy to do. It occurred to me when he did choose to represent himself that, unfortunately, and I'm somewhat embarrassed to say, my thoughts immediately turned to myself and how it would affect me and how it would reflect upon me. And it took me a while to come to the realization that this isn't about me. It's about him. It's about his case. It's about his defense. And it's about that man doing what he sees fit to represent himself, which is what he chose to do.
I thought it was very ironic that Mr. Jeffs finally got to face what he's made many thousands of other people face. And I think there's a lot of healing that's got to be done, and I think there's a whole lot more victims in this than the 2 that came out in this trial, and I think that justice was served, and hopefully the jury can continue to get it right.